Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to speak about a topic here, which is SAT. That's a Scholastic Aptitude test, which is usually given in the USA and also, of course, in a lot of other countries, for students who want to apply to a prominent university. So for those who are going to get like very good scores, you can even get a scholarship and or get to a very prominent university in the US. All right. So, but on that test, you usually going to be tested on math and then English. So we're going to talk about the math part. So the details of that test will be conveyed in another video. But at this point, we're going to talk about the math. So one of the questions could be this one that we're going to work on together. So let's go at it. So the average height arithmetic mean of 4 members of a 60-person volleyball team is 175 centimeters. What does the average height in centimeters of the other 2 players have to be if the average height of the entire team equals to 180 centimeters? All right, very interesting problem. So the first is, so we're looking for the average height in centimeters of the other 2 players. So what are we looking for? We can put it into a formula here. So the average for the 2 players is equal to the sum of height for those 2 players divided by 2. All right. So the two here in parentheses is just to signify that we're talking about average of 2 players and then the sum of 2 players. But the 2 at the bottom here is an actual value. Okay, it's an actual value. All right, so let's go at it. So this is what we have to look out for. That's what we're trying to find. Now, what do we know? We know that the average height for 4 members is equal to what? 175 centimeters. So let's go and see how we can represent that. So the average for 4 players equals to the sum of the height of those 4 players divided by 4. Okay, so now we can just substitute in there because we know things here, right? What do we know? We know that the average is 175 centimeters equals to then the sum of their height, okay, divided by 4. So what can we do? We can just cross multiply. That's the easiest operation to do here. So this one can be put over 1, and then we just cross multiply. Then what are we going to get? We're going to get the sum of the height for those 4 players. So sum of the height for those 4 players will be equal to 175 times 4. 175 times 4 will give us what? 700 centimeters. So we keep this one. 700 centimeters for the sum of the height for the 4 players. All right? So what else do we know? We also get to know that the average height for the entire team, that means for the 6 players, is also 180 centimeters. So we can do the same thing that we just did here with that information. So we're looking for then the average. All right? So let me put asterisk here. So we have the average for the 6 players equals to then the sum of their height, right? So let me just do this just to cut it a bit short here. Of 6 of them divided by 6, correct? So that's the height, okay? Let's keep that in mind. So then that is the same thing as the sum of the height for the 4 players plus the sum of the heights for the 2 players, all over divided by 6. See how we just simplifying the whole thing here now? And remember, 4 and 2 are not numbers to be used, okay? So then what do we know? We know the average for the 6 players here, which is 180. So that'd be 180 equals to what? Do we know the sum of the height for the 4 students? Yes, it's 700. So that gives us 700 plus the sum of the height for the other two players divided by 6. You guys see where we're heading to now? Okay, this is getting more interesting. So how can we solve for this? Cross multiplication again. So we're going to cross multiply. All right? So once we cross multiply, what are we getting? So this is going to give us what? So this is 700 plus the sum for the height for the two other players equals to 180 centimeters times 6. And 180 times 6 is going to give us what? So that would give us, so that is 0 here, 80 here. That is 1,080 centimeters. And that's for these two, correct? But let's don't forget, what are we looking for? The sum for the two players for the height is equal to, then that would be 1,080 minus 700. Okay? So 1,080 minus 700 would give us what? That would give us 380 centimeters. Okay? So we have this one here. So that's the sum of the height for the two. Now, you guys remember, at the beginning, we said that we're going to need this. So, but what are we trying to get? We're trying to get the average height for the two players. Now we know the sum of the heights of the two players, which is 380. So what do we do then to finish with? So let's go. So the average height for the two players would then be equal to, so this is the one here, so we're bringing it down so that you guys can see, is equal to then 380 centimeters divided by 2 by using this formula here. You guys with me? And then that will give us what? So this one will give us 190 centimeters. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have been looking for. All right? So these kinds of problems, the more you practice with it, the more quicker, a thinker you become when it comes to this, so that it can go even faster. All right? Thank you.